Hey guys, it's Generic here, and in this video I'm going to be going over energy pooling and bursting in Arena. Before we get into the video, I want to say a big thanks to everybody who left me comments on Reddit, on my YouTube, on my Twitch page, just pretty much anyone who is giving me ideas for the next video. And I also want to apologize for the delay on the video. I actually had a completely finished video and my external hard drive crashed, so unfortunately I lost everything, but now I've finally gotten around to remaking it, so I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so in this clip you can see that I'm playing Thug Cleave and we're fighting against a Holy Paladin and an Elemental Shaman and then the Warrior. So at this point in the game you can see that the Paladin does not actually have a trinket, and prior to this we actually got his bubble as well. So this is going to make a Paladin a really good swap target for us because he doesn't have any defensives left to actually get out of our damage or our burst attempt. So here my hunter does communicate to me that he wants to go into the Paladin, so now I'm going to set up the burst. So in setting up the burst, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you have a slice and dice going. Now slice and dice is important because it's going to give you energy regeneration so that you don't actually go out of energy when you're trying to burst, and it's also going to give you faster auto attacks, and the faster auto attacks is going to actually give you a little bit of extra damage, but the main part of slice and dice is that you have the energy going. So once we have the energy regeneration going, the next thing that we need to do is actually make sure we have enough energy to get the burst off. Now this is going to be called pooling energy, and all you're doing is sitting still pretty much, not really casting any spells until you have about 100 energy or more. Obviously the more energy is going to be better, but you can go with 100 and you'll have a very solid swap. So once I get to about 100 energy here, you can see that I vanish out and we start the swap to the Paladin. Now a swap is just a burst attempt, so that's really what I'm covering here is the burst. And you can see that the first thing I'm going to do here is make sure I get my Sanguinary Veins going and then get a stun on the Paladin. Now it doesn't matter what order you do that in. You can stun and then get Sanguinary Veins, or you can Sanguinary Veins and then stun. So Sanguinary Veins is just a passive that the rogues have. It's going to increase our damage by 35% to any target that's afflicted by a Rupture Bleed, a Garrote Bleed, or a Hemorrhage Bleed if we're using the Glyph of Hemorrhaging Veins. So you can see that I vanish out, I've got my full energy bar, we have Slice and Dice going, and I'm going to make the swap to the Pally. So I start off the swap by Garroting the Paladin to get Sanguinary Veins going, and also because it's a Paladin, since it's going to be silenced from my Garrote, it's not actually going to be able to use his wall, which is going to reduce the amount of damage that he takes, and excuse my phone there. And so now that I had the Garrote out, I need to get the stun on him. Now stuns are pretty good because it also makes you benefit from Prey on the Weak, but it keeps the main point of the stun is that it keeps your target still for you so that both you and your partner can connect in Arena. So I've got my Sanguinary Veins out, got the stun out, got Slice and Dice going. We have all the things we need to actually be able to burst. And then we get into the full bursting part of the video. So bursting just consists of making sure that you're getting the maximum amount of eviscerates off. Now when we're eviscerating, one thing that we need to take note of here is that you only ever want a 5-point eviscerate because this is going to be the most efficient for a damage per combo point. So now that we're ready to get the eviscerates off, one trick I want to show you guys really quick is that you can use eviscerate once you have 5 combo points, and then mark for death to generate 5 more combo points. That's a tier 6 rogue talent. This is the talent you're always going to want to play with as a rogue, and then you can eviscerate again. So by doing this, you're getting 2 eviscerates off, and eviscerates our highest damage dealing ability. So this is going to be a great way to get some insane burst out. This is where like the rogue one-shot per se comes from. Additionally, the way we're actually going to get to these eviscerates when we're not using Marked for Death is if you're using Shadow Dance, you're going to be ambushing. Ambush is a combo point generator. It's going to give you 2 combo points per ambush. So it's going to be a great way to actually get to the 5 combo points we're looking for the actual eviscerate. One thing people ask me a lot is if I'm at 4 combo points, do I ambush again or do I eviscerate? And the answer to that is ambush again. Now, additionally, when we're looking at not dancing, when we're trying to get burst off, we're going to be using Backstab as our combo point generator. Backstab obviously only gives you 1 combo point per backstab, so it's going to be slower than when you're shadow dancing, but that's really why the burst comes from shadow dance. But it's still possible to get big damage out from using backstabs as well. So after you guys do hit the 5 combo points for the first time, that's when we're actually going to employ the eviscerate, Marked for Death eviscerate. So resuming back to the clip here, you can see that by garroting and then cheap shotting, and then finally actually using my premeditation, which I have bound in with my cheap shot, I'm going to achieve 5 combo points, and all I'm going to do is eviscerate my target, I'm going to mark for death, and I'm going to eviscerate him one more time, and he will go down. Alright guys, so in this clip you can see that I am playing as Rogue Mage, and we are fighting a Resto Druid Warrior, and here we're going to be bursting the Warrior. So you can see that the first thing I'm going to do is cheap shot the Warrior to get the stun going, and then I'm actually going to follow up with a Hemorrhage so that I can get my Sanguinary Veins going. Like I said, the Hemorrhaging Veins glyph is going to give you the benefits of Sanguinary Vein from Hemorrhage. and this is going to give me with 35% more damage. And you can see that the warrior actually used his trinket on my cheap shot there. So this is going to mean that the next stun we put on the warrior, he's going to have to sit it, and he's not going to have an out for it. He won't be able to use defensive cooldowns in the stun, etc. because, well, he doesn't have a trinket. So you can see the next thing I'm going to do is kidney him, just to prolong the stun lock. It's always good to do when you can. And then I'm going to mark for death and eviscerate the warrior. So like I said, we're just trying to maximize eviscerates, guys. So here you see the mark for death, the 5 combo points. I then I ambush. You know, I said use ambush as a combo point generator when you're dancing. I cheap the warrior one more time, get the one last eviscerate off, and he goes down. Usually I do not use a very DR cheap, the quarter DR cheap there in most arenas, but in this case I did choose to do it because the warrior was so low on health. My mage still had a lot of damage, and I just didn't want the warrior to use his rallying cry or his shield wall or anything like that that would stop us from getting the kill, since he was so low at that point. Alright guys, so in this clip you can see that I am fighting against a Shadow Priest Resto Shaman warrior team. And the Shadow Priest is the kill target here, and you can see here that he's actually coming off stun DR soon, but I'm relatively low on energy. So right now the first things I'm thinking about is just making sure I've got my slice and dice up, and then making sure that I'm going to be pulling my energy up so I can actually get a good swap off. So here as I play the video, you can see I use my combo points to get the slice going, just preparing the priest for the setup, and I'm getting my energy pulling. Now however, I did get hexed here, but had I not been hexed, I would not be using any abilities right now, just waiting for my energy bar to get to full, or at least 100. So they do go on my shaman. One thing I do before I swap is just cheap shot the warrior. I'm still going to be over 100 energy since I had a full bar, and then I garrote the priest. Now when I garrote the priest here, you can see that this is going to apply my sanguinary veins, and once again you need this for every swap. So you can see now I've got the sanguinary veins and the slice and dice going, and I just need to stun the priest now. So as the clip resumes, you can see that I get a cheap shot onto the priest, then I eviscerate him with 5 combo points. And I'm dancing here, so I'm just going to be using my ambush to generate combo points. I get a kidney out of the cheap because once again we just wanted to prolong the stun lock, so I'm just spamming some ambushes here. I get a 5-point eviscerate there, and the priest does live here. I got storm bolted, and I'm going to get disarmed out. So they're just peeling me here, trying to stop me from actually being able to finish off my burst. But luckily my hunter did get a full trap on the shaman, and as soon as we catch back up to the priest, he is going to go down here. So once again guys, this clip is just a pretty good example of how we're setting up the swaps by getting the cheap shot, the sanguinary veins, slice and dice, having all that stuff up, and then just maximizing our eviscerates. Alright guys, so now that we've looked at 3 clips of bursting in arenas, I just want to go over a quick recap of everything we've learned. So the first thing when we're going for a burst attempt is just make sure we're getting slice and dice up, regenerate our energy. Then we're going to pool our energy just by not using any abilities, let our energy bar to get to about 100 or so. The more the better. And then we're going to start the burst. So the burst starts by getting a stun out and then getting sanguinary veins going. You can sanguinary veins in the stun as well, it does not matter what order that comes in. And then once you have this, we're just going to start maximizing our eviscerates. Remember to mark for death eviscerate whenever you can, because that's going to give you a free eviscerate, our highest damage dealing ability. And also when we're generating these eviscerates, we're just going to be using backstab or ambush, depending on if we are not dancing or if we are dancing, to generate the combo points. And that's pretty much it guys, so I just want to thank everybody for watching this video. Leave me a like if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more content from me. And also leave a comment below letting me know what you guys liked about the video, what you didn't like, and what you want to see from me in the future. Once again, thanks for watching guys.